You're watching Service Drive, exclusively on CBT News.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for joining me in another edition of Service Drive right here at CBTnews.com. Great service results come from more than just KPIs. Joining us to share what's working in the service lane today is Dave Rogers, Fixed Operations Director at Piazza Auto Group. So thank you so much, Dave, for joining us on the show today.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate being here. It's great
Sure.
to meet
So
you.
just to kind of set the table a little bit before we got recording here today, you are the Fixed Operations Director over 30 stores, correct?
Correct. Yes, that's correct.
That gives you a very unique perspective on all things
I think
fixed
it's a
op.
full-time job right now. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's good. And how's business at your dealership today?
Everything's good, man. Year over year, we're doing great. This month, 27 days, hoping to pull out a nice new record this time of year. But everything's been great. It's a good year going forward. So
that's great. How many throughout all 30 stores? How many technicians could you use right now to fill any open slots?
It's up and down. We probably could use 20 techs throughout the stores, but
20 techs.
we're pretty good though.
Yeah.
We've been growing our own. We've been building it, but it's everyone knows it's a grind. The techs are jumping store to store. It's just a challenge right now, but we're doing all right. I mean, I can't complain. My guys are doing a good job keeping them busy and keeping them happy.
That's great. That's the key. Now, many managers focus heavily on KPIs, but that's not the full picture. What are they missing when managing by the numbers?
Well, I just think you have to understand what the message is going to be, right? So, I always tell everybody, the most dangerous person on the planet is a GM or dealer principal that just came back from an NCM or 20 group meeting, right?
With all those great ideas.
Right? Yeah, because they want 3/10 more in RO. They want 1 line ROs at a thing, 2.5 hours in RO, and I just think that the message gets skewed when you do that. I think it's just not conductive to business. So, we've been focusing on for a while now, and with the latest technology, service lane technology, making sure the multi-points are done, making sure that they're presented to customers, because that's a big one. You can do a multi-point, but if the customer never sees it, what good is it?
Right, right.
The ASRs, the additional recommendations, if the techs are looking at the cars correctly, what are they looking at? And then obviously advisor closing. So, I bring it up because if you want to drive results, you got to drive the behavior first, I think is the only way to get there.
Right.
And again, I've been in the business 42 years. Wow. I know the old school. Right? You need this, you need this, you need this, but it doesn't get things done. It never did.
Right.
All you get people is Mickey and the numbers,
Yeah.
It's like in finance, every time there's a cash deal in the box, somebody has to go to the bathroom, right? The F&I guy has to go to the bathroom. Right?
That's exactly right.
The same thing happens in service. You see a 2025 car come in and everyone's going to the bathroom. They don't want to write it up because if you're focused on hours per hour, they're not going to want to write the guy up.
No, it's exactly right. It's a very, very good point. In your experience, what's the biggest process breakdown between service advisors and technicians?
I think the biggest breakdown is that the techs are doing their job mostly with the multi-points. They're checking the cars out, and then you have advisors filtering the results. They don't, they prejudge the customer. He's not gonna. Oh, that guy can't afford it. It's too much money. And that's where I think videos come in. You can send them right to the customer, show them what's going on with the car. You can help that filtering, stop that filtering anyway. So
yeah. When it comes to multi-point inspections and video walkarounds, what are some of the best practices to make sure that they're actually helping customers to say yes on the repairs?
Well, I think you have to be truthful with customers. I'm taking tires and brakes out of the equation because they're the only two things you measure, right? So a tire could be yellow, a brakes can be yellow. They could be marginal, right? They're not failing, but they're not perfect.
Sure.
Everything else should be pass or fail. The yellow to me is the cop out. So when you have a technician's, air filter, well, it's yellow. No, it's either pass or fail.
Right.
And I think we started that about, probably 2019, right before COVID. So we started really pushing the multi-point, started pushing the word tracks, and started pushing, hey, we're not recommending things. We're going to tell you what the results are. Brought your car in. This is its report card. It passed these two things. It failed these two things.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing that, it's a cop out, right? Yellow. What's yellow mean? You
Yeah.
know, a
Yeah.
tire could be yellow,
Right. You're going to
right?
need it
But
next
and a
week?
brakes could be yellow.
Right.
Right. So, and I think that's been a big factor in our growth. I mean, we've been training the advisors and working on that since pre-COVID. And then when COVID happened, we went digital or online training. But I think that's been, a big factor in our growth over the last 5, 6 years.
Sure, sure. Talk to us about advisor training at your group. What does that look like? I mean, it seems that some of the advisors that I've spoken to over the years, they've shared with me that they got training when they first joined the organization, maybe a little bit along the way, but not very much. It's kind of like, hey, get in there, roll up your shirt sleeves, start right in service, and you'll pick it up along the way. But there's no real major training taking place. What's your take on that, and what do you currently do to help drive success through training of your advisors?
I mean, it's totally true. I mean, for the, many, many years, you earn as you learn, right? You jump and throw them out there, put them in the fire, and,
Yeah,
you don't give them any training. We do, I mean, for DMS training, we want them to do their online training if they're not familiar with the DMS. I think that's big. When we hire you, do you know the DMS? Do you
yeah,
know the product? Do you know the company culture? Because I think those three things matter. Um, and then what we do, we have the Piazza Auto University. Um, so we have about 30, 40 different courses that advisors can take. They can be certified level 1, 2, and 3.
hmm
Basically things, how to present a multi-point. We have video training for technicians, video training for the advisors,
hmm
overcoming objections. There's course after course. Plus, you have the OEM, training that they take. So we try to get them in there, get them started. But it's a store by store, brand by brand, and obviously experience matters too, right? If a guy's good, plug and play, knows the DMS, knows the brand, then we just got to get him a little culture, right? Get him to know the group more than get him to know anything else.
Right, right. Now, with service departments all being pretty busy these days, people are holding onto their cars a little bit longer. Obviously, the value of used cars going up because of the price of new cars, almost $50,000 or greater. The people are holding on to their current vehicles and getting work done on those cars that they normally wouldn't have had done. Service departments are busy. And when I talk to some service advisors around, service managers, they'll say, look, we're processing these people as they come in. We're trying to get them in. We're trying to get them out. So if our walkarounds aren't where we think they should be, it's because we're busy writing business. How do you get your people to do those walkarounds, to do those multi-point inspections with consumers when they'll tell you, I'm too busy to do that?
It boils down to staffing, obviously scheduling. Some of our stores have express lanes, right? You have to have it with some of the volume brands. To me, that's a leakage point. You do leak out some money in those lanes
Yeah,
where you don't have a chance sometimes to check the car out.
sure.
We like to maximize every vehicle that comes in. That's the terms we use, maximize it. But
hmm
it's you just if you can keep the car over because it needs to stay over, you keep it over. If it's a waiter, all you can do is give the customer the information. Again, present the facts.
Yeah,
But we do, and we do a good job. We're not, listen, there's always room for improvement.
sure.
My conversations with my service managers generally start with what's your percentage of inspection.
Yeah,
That's generally what it starts with.
okay.
And I got some guys that are awesome. 97% of the cars that come in get the multi-point.
Yeah,
ASR is at 50, 55%. Average mileage of a car coming into some of my stores now is 65, 70,000 miles.
yeah, sure.
There's probably going to be,
Yeah, I would think.
if the
Something's
cars coming
gonna,
in, there's going to be recommendations. So,
yeah,
but it's just a matter of just, somebody told me years ago, and one of my old bosses, it's like painting the Golden Gate Bridge, right? You just
yep,
start on one side, you start painting it, you get to the end, you turn around, you come back, right? So, we don't have a heavy-handed approach. When I do send out numbers, I do use metrics, I do look at effective labor rates, I do look at these things, but I use them for comparison.
yeah,
And then when I micro the guys in the stores, and I mean micro, like, hey, one-on-one conversations,
hmm
then we talk about these other things. Why are the inspections low? Why
hmm
are the videos low? Why are the ASRs low? That's the stuff we talk about. So
right, right. Is there any training for the technicians? I would imagine the technicians are using video as well, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, they are. I mean, they're using it. And again, we have some videos for them to learn how to do it,
hmm
try to get the process the same. I think it's funny that, you have the technicians and you just show them how you want it done and you want to start on this wheel and go around, and then they're young, they want to ad lib because they're smarter than the next guy and stuff. So, you kind of have to box them back in and say, listen, would you like it if your pilot on your plane decided to skip the steps and just jump to something?
Right.
Like, because that's the way you have to look at it. Like,
Yeah.
do it the same way every time.
Yeah.
And that's just part of the training. It's, again, painting the Golden Gate Bridge, same thing.
Oh, yeah.
You got to just keep painting it over.
No question. Throughout any of your stores, are you, or in all of your stores, are you doing mobile service? Do you have any setup for that?
Yeah, so my 3 Mercedes stores have mobile vans.
Okay.
One of them has 2, actually. He's got a regular van just to do lighter duty stuff. It's a Sprinter, but lighter. And then the other one's a dually with a tire machine and wheel balancer in it. And yeah, we've been doing all right. I mean, it makes money for the Wilmington store. Does really, really well. They were the first ones to jump on the bandwagon.
Okay.
They're doing 80 calls a month. They're making money with it. The ROI is great, and it's good adoption there.
Yeah.
The other 2 stores are a little bit behind, but they're getting better every day. I mean, I think there's certainly a market for that. It's just a matter of whether the guys in the store have the stomach for it to make it work.
Sure. And then final question here: what's your greatest challenge as you go into 2026, or I should say, a concern that you may have? What might keep you up at night about your end of the business as you start the new year in 2026?
This morning I had a little scare when I was reading an article that said that there's going to be a chip shortage for Honda, right? And now they're talking about less volume next year. And I had flashbacks of COVID where now they're making money because there's no volume, and then they forget about fixed ops again, right? So you don't. I always kid around with my owners, and I'm like, you guys didn't know how to spell absorption 4 years ago.
Exactly.
Now you're an expert on it.
Right.
Like, what
now
happened?
you're asking me every day about it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Again, my concerns are always the same. I want the general managers. Our stores are decentralized. I want them focused on the back end. I want them to build the foundation. And we all know good fixed ops, good used car operations, and then you could ride the times. It's a good insurance policy, right?
Yeah.
So, that's what you worry about is this, there's always this shiny object out there. There's always some latest rage bait to get everybody all excited, and
Yep.
and that's what you just worry about, that they take their eyes off and stop focusing on what's important. So
Right. Just keep blocking and tackling each day and taking care of the
That's
customer.
it.
I mean, at the end of the day,
That's
that's
it.
what it's all about, right? The customer is
It
in the
is.
driver's seat today, and they can go any place they want to get that car serviced, and you got to make it so that they keep coming back to you, right?
yeah, well, you're a former dealer guy. The 3
Yep.
C's. My 3 C's are the customer, the company, and our coworkers, right?
That's right.
Take care of those, and you take care of everything, right?
That's right.
So that's what we focus on every day.
That's
the
right.
way we do it.
That's a good rule, no question about it.
Yeah.
Dave Rogers, Fixed Operations Director at Piazza Auto Group. Thank you so much. By the way, what are your Eagles going to do this year? Are they going what's going on there?
I'm a New York Giants fan, man.
Oh,
You
my
got the wrong
gosh.
guy this time. And we got spanked last weekend, so I have nothing to say. But I
got
will
you.
tell you, here's the consensus. Every Eagles fan, once they win a few games, they all think they're going to the Super Bowl. So I'll put that out there. They're probably right. They're probably going to the Super Bowl.
There you
again.
go.
So
There you go. That's the attitude.
Yeah.
That's the attitude.
they look good.
That's right. All right, Dave. Thanks so much. Really appreciate you stopping by.
Great. Thanks.
Thanks
Nice
so
to meet
much.
you.
Thanks for watching Service Drive, exclusively on CBT News.